It's the fear of thinking.
Fear of thinking?
Yeah.
So, like, every Republican in the government right now has this?
Something like that.
Welcome to The Cauldron, a podcast hosted by Ed Bolden Greer, the creator of Ravensvale. In each episode, Ed will have free-flowing conversations about life, culture, and personal growth. Expect to hear from storytellers, authors, experts, life gurus, thought leaders, and influencers. The Cauldron is a place where concoctions of a lot of ideas are brewed down to potions that are sometimes important and useful, sometimes eccentric and bizarre, but always just what you need. The Cauldron podcast may contain explicit language and thematic elements not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome to the Ravensvale Cauldron podcast, where we gather around the mystical cauldron to stoke the embers of curiosity and ignite the fires of imagination. I'm your host, Ed Bolden Greer, and joining me is my co-host, the conjurer of curiosity, Jacob Garner, a.k.a. Frady Cat.
Hello, everyone. In today's episode, we dive deep into the fascinating and sometimes spine-chilling world of human fears. Phobias, those seemingly irrational but deeply ingrained fears, affects millions of people around the globe. From the common fear of heights to the more unusual fear of buttons, phobias come in all shapes and sizes, influencing lives in surprising ways. So whether you're tuning in to understand your own fears or are simply curious about the quirks of the human mind, you're in for an eye-opening ride. Let's face those fears together.
Hey, Jacob. How's it going, man?
Dude, I am refreshed. I'm a little darker, as you can probably
Welcome
tell.
back.
I'm glad to be back.
Asshole.
I was so happy to see you when I walked in.
I know.
It feels like it's been fucking forever.
It has for us. We see each other almost every day.
Yeah.
Even on days off, we see each other. So yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
I know. And I'm so happy to be back in the beautiful state of Tennessee. I fucking hate Florida. And it's not even like a meme for me. I just fucking hate Florida so much, dude.
I don't blame you. The big roach bugs, the rain every day, the stymie heat, the hurricanes, the governor. I mean, we could just
really.
keep going.
I know, right? By the way, I know the listeners are probably curious because I've talked about the previous vacation where I stayed in the airport. I'm happy to report we stayed in a hotel both the night that we got there and then the day when we got back because we had a little bit of a buffer for our flights.
Yeah, V was here with me last week.
I'm surprised I still have a job. You know?
She's going to be here with us next week.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
You know that thing that you said when we were watching that television show that you really wish would happen to you?
Yeah.
It's going to happen to you.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That's going to be so much fun.
So I want to hear some stories about your vacation, but tell me a little bit about the mix-up on the flight.
Bro, and see, this is exactly...
Hold on. Didn't they move your flight up, first of all?
Yeah, they moved it up. They moved it up almost an hour and a half early than what they originally said. So we were like, that sucks because it's just going to be us waiting. Me and Zach, anytime we have to take a flight, especially for something like a cruise where the ship is going to leave you whether you're there or not, you know, we always fly down a day early just in case that there's a mix-up, right? And it really paid off because we get on the flight, put the bags up, all that shit. We're sitting down, and then the pilot comes over the top, excuse me, and he goes, hey, guys, there's a dent in the wing, like one of the panels. It's like a 2-inch dent, but the logbooks don't have it listed as...
So it wasn't referenced in the logbook?
Nope. So they were like, this had to have happened, so we got a guy looking at it real quick. So maybe 20, 30 minutes, right? Well, then like an hour and a half goes by, and they go, yeah, it turns out that the dent's a little bit bigger than we thought. Now we have to have an engineer, but there's only like 2 engineers on staff right now, so we don't know how long it's going to be. So they disembarked us, right? Got us off the plane.
Well, that was nice of them.
Everybody was pissed except for me and Zach. I understand if there were places that people had to be like that afternoon and they were pissed, but dude, with all of the shit that's been going on with flights recently, I was just like, I don't give a fuck how long it takes. Make sure it's safe before I'm, 30,000 feet up in the air.
At least you didn't have to sit on the tarmac for 4 hours in the heat.
Bro, it got hot though.
Yeah,
it got hot. And then they disembarked us, and then our flight, they ended up having to get us a different plane entirely. And I mean, it was like 5 hours later. I mean, the flight itself, fantastic, ended up in Florida. We actually flew to Sanford, which is like right outside of Orlando.
Yeah.
We didn't actually go to the major international airport. We went to a smaller one that just Allegiant has, right?
So if you're going to be stuck anywhere, you might as well be stuck in the Knoxville airport.
That's exactly what we said. The Knoxville airport is actually bigger than the one in Sanford, which I thought was interesting.
It's really nice, too.
It's
small, but
yeah.
it's really nice, and got a couple of restaurants.
Bro, and we ran into our cousins. They were flying out to California. We had no idea. Like, Zach went to go piss, and then he walked by, and then he heard his name, and then, our cousins were just randomly there flying. They were flying out to Houston and then up to Sacramento, I think.
Nice.
But the actual vacation was absolutely outstanding.
So what was your all-time favorite thing that y'all did on your vacation?
There was, okay, so we went to the Dominican Republic, right? And the Dominican Republic, as some people might not know, it shares the island with Haiti, right? Like, it's kind of split down the middle. And for those who aren't up on like geopolitics, like last year, the Haitian government completely collapsed. Right? And they had a coup and an assassination of their president. And then, according to the UN, the entire country is essentially ran by criminal organizations now. It's very dangerous in Haiti. And the Dominican Republic, sharing the same island with them, obviously it's unstable, and they're trying to like keep the criminal element from getting into the Dominican Republic. So it's very dangerous right now, right? And they tell you specifically, whatever you do, don't leave the port unless you have a certified and approved excursion. Don't get in anybody's car that isn't insured, like a local taxi or anything like that. And for God's sakes, don't just wander around. So that's exactly what me and Zach did.
No doubt. No doubt.
So
I'm a worrywart about my people.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I was like, oh, God, I haven't heard anything. Because you don't take your phone. You turn your phone off.
Oh, yeah. I was offline for a week.
As much as I'm happy for you for that, it was hard.
Well, so I learned something about my twin that was kind of funny, and this is why it's my favorite thing that happened. Zach, he works at Yamaha. He works in a factory, right? And he works with a lot of people from Central America. And he has slowly but steadily picked up quite a bit of functional Spanish by working with all these people, right? He's been working there for like a decade now. I didn't know that he could speak Spanish fluently enough that he helped us navigate around the Dominican Republic. And one thing I thought was really funny, we walk out of the port, and the port itself has these like 15-foot solid concrete walls and razor wire on top of it. And they had security guards walking around with like full-sized machine guns. They weren't just like, they didn't just have like a pistol and some mace or something like that. No, I mean, like, I'm talking like one literally had a full-size like machine gun that shot like 7.62 rounds, which are like the size of this can over here. So we walk to the front gate where the security guards are checking everybody's passports and documents and whatnot like that. And because they were really trying to persuade me and Zach not to just wander around the Dominican Republic, Zach ends up lying and telling them, no, this is like our third or fourth time here. Like, we know what we're doing, right? And they were like, okay, just be very careful. Well, Zach ends up talking to a couple of locals because we were trying to find a beach because we didn't want to pay. It was like $110 per person for a taxi to take you somewhere to a beach, right?
American dollars?
American dollars, dude. And
110 American dollars per person.
Yeah, for like a round trip, right? So
I figured you could buy a car for $110 there.
Yeah. So we were like, fuck that, dude. We're not going to do it. So Zach asks for some directions, and to get us to a beach. And next thing you know, we're walking and we end up in an alleyway, like a single lane alleyway, and with a bunch of blind corners and stuff around it. And I was just like, Zach, are you sure that they didn't just give us directions to a place where we're going to get fucking robbed? And people would like roll down their windows, like locals would roll down their windows and start speaking to us in Spanish, trying to sell us drugs like crazy. And we just kept walking. And eventually, randomly, we ran into a fucking beach that was like beautiful. I mean, the Dominican Republic, if you've never been there, it is like steep, rugged mountains covered in rainforests, and then it immediately turns into a beach at the base of the mountains. I mean, it is a rugged, beautiful country. So anyway, we get liquored up at the beach. Also, a dude randomly came up to us with a picture folder and asked us if we wanted tattoos while we were there.
Oh.
We're like, tattoos?
So I'm going to go back to that $100.
Yeah.
Because I was just checking the exchange rate. Are you sure it was U.S. dollars? Because the exchange rate is to 1 to 62.45 Dominican pesos.
Really?
So if it was in Dominican pesos, 100 Dominican pesos is $1.60.
Really?
That's why I'm wondering.
Well, they had these humongous signs everywhere with the name of like Santiago City and these beaches and stuff like that. And then they had the prices to the side of it for each person, blah, blah, blah. So they just had it listed like it was a food menu. And it did say $110 to go
USD?
to. Yeah, USD to go to.
Damn.
It was nuts, man. But
I'm going there.
we ended up sitting at the beach for a very long time.
Well, yeah.
And we just drank a bunch. And then one thing that blew me away in the Dominican Republic, and it really reminds you like, oh yeah, we're not in America. You could just smoke cigarettes wherever you were at. Restaurants, bars, on the beach, inside of stores.
Yeah, I don't really want to go.
It was crazy, man.
You're not selling this very well.
Oh no, it was wonderful.
You're not selling it at all.
I can tell you, I'm going to tell you so much more. I'm not going to bore the listeners with more stories, but I'm telling you, the fact that we wandered through the Dominican Republic by ourselves, drunk, and nothing bad happened to us was hilarious.
It's your all's luck.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, let me ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you all pull your stunt that you do every time you all go around together?
You know we did, Ed. Come on now. You know we did. Yeah, I think I've told it before, but I'll tell it again. So me and my twin, we look pretty much identical.
Mm-hmm.
And we were wearing similar outfits the entire time. And we had the exact same hats on. And
so were you wearing Daisy Dukes and your cut-off Budweiser shirts? Your Budweiser shirts?
Not the Budweiser shirts. We really wanted to get a good tan, so we wore button-up Hawaiian shirts and Muay Thai shorts that have like a 3-inch inseam, right? Uh-huh. And people would come up and be like, Are you guys twins? And we would look at each other with stone faces and be like, no, what are you talking about? And they're like, brothers at least, right? We're like, oh, no. I met him junior year at the University of Tennessee in an ag class. And then one of us will go, well, we're both Filipinos, so we get that a lot. And then people immediately go like, oh, no. And then we trick them and tell them we're twins later. There was this cougar that we met, right? And she stayed drunk the entire cruise.
So by cougar, you mean older lady?
Yeah, I think she was.
Okay.
She told us
just so that listeners understand what you're talking about.
She was on a girls' trip, right? Celebrating her 50th birthday with her friend.
The Big 5-0.
The Big 5-0. And
did you all help her celebrate?
She wanted us to. So she was like talking to us on this one bench that was facing out to the ocean, right? And she goes, so you guys are twins, so you guys probably shared a lot growing up. And we're like, yeah, we shared a bed and a room growing up and, this, that, and the other thing.
That's not what she was talking about.
Well, we figured out shortly after that. She literally spun her wedding ring around to face it downwards. And she goes, do you boys share everything? And we're like, hey, yo, no, no, thank you.
Was she hot?
I mean, I'd knock her down, but yeah, I don't, not, the thing about that is that that's a question that we get as twins all the time. Like, will you take me to France? You know what I mean? And we're like, no. Because, like, maybe this is a little bit too graphic. I just don't want to see that part of my twin. Like, I don't want to look in his face while we're doing that.
Yeah,
It's
a lot
just
of people think that
weird.
twins, as identical as you all are, would be identical everywhere, but that's not true.
No, it's not true, actually. Yeah. I actually, well, I don't know if I should talk about it on the
No,
podcast.
let's leave that off the podcast. I know what you're about to say. I am the holder of that information. So I noticed that the water bottle that we got you, now is completely covered again.
Yes.
So your loss of your former water bottle, are you still grieving it?
I do miss it. There were some like personal stickers. So I actually had some drawings from some friends that I had turned into stickers that were on it. And I miss it. But this is a very the spiritual successor to that old water bottle.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Besides the horror nerd sticker, which you've conveniently covered up, I know that was your favorite.
I made sure not to cover up the Ravensville one.
Right. But so what is your favorite sticker on there?
So far?
Uh-huh.
It's hard. It's like asking you to pick your favorite child.
And yet I am asking you.
Okay. Can I give you two?
Yeah.
All right. So there was one that we got at a horror convention we were working, and it's of a voluptuous Daisy Duke wearing Boomhauer from King of the Hill.
I knew that's the one you were going to pick.
It's so funny. His ass cheeks are hanging out the back. It's so funny. And then I like this one for reasons I'm not going to go into that Jared gave me.
By the way, he's pointing to a flip sticker.
It's my favorite.
We love you, Jared.
Also, there's one that I think is my favorite because I get asked about it a lot at the gym, but it shows a tattered pride flag. And it's a play on the, like, you remember those old Navy shirts with a tattered American flag? Mm-hmm. And it says, if this flag offends you, I'll help you pack.
Lord. So, Jacob.
Yeah.
FrankenCon 2025 is coming up quickly.
I know. I mean, as we record this, it's not that far away.
Yep. Happening on May 9th and 10th at the Airport Hilton in Knoxville. Tickets are on sale now at frankencontn.com. Go visit there and check out the tickets. And while you're there, check out all the special guests they're bringing into Knoxville this year. I mean, it's huge.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Ravensvale.
Yeah.
We'll be there. The Cauldron, the Ravensville podcast. All of us will be there along with Small Raven Media and Appalachian Horror Fest.
Yes. And I just want to say, I know we've talked about it in the past, but FrankenCon has been nothing but absolutely outstanding to us. And I mean, it was a quick snap judgment for us to be like, hell yeah, we're coming back.
Yeah.
So... yeah, I actually thought that you and I were supposed to talk about horror movies today, but apparently...
You missed the horror movie episode.
Yeah. I will say, just as an aside, Nosferatu, awesome horror movie if anybody else hasn't watched that.
By the way, you do realize that you missed 2 Tuesdays.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Dude, it's been crazy. Just as a spellbook is passed down only to those bound by trust, each family guards its magic secrets fiercely. At the Cauldron, our survival relies on safeguarding the enchantments that unite us. Whether you're born into this magical lineage or embraced as one of our own, your role is essential. Visit www.ravensville.com, navigate to the social media tab, and weave your magic by following us on every platform. Become part of our mystical family, stay in the loop with every spellbinding episode, and help us keep the magic alive.
So... now that you know what we're talking about, I figured since you were just getting back and you probably couldn't do your homework and everything, that we would do this one a little different. Okay. I am going to absolutely butcher the names of these phobias. I just want you to know that.
Okay.
But it's not going to matter because you've never heard of them anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I picked out what I consider the top 10 most unusual or
just kind of off the wall
phobias.
Okay.
And they all have weird names. So we're gonna do the first one first.
Okay. Can I make a stab at which each one is?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna name the phobia.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see if you can figure out what the phobia is. And once you make your guess, I will tell you what the phobia is.
All right.
Okay. So the first one is ablutophobia. Ablutophobia.
Is that like a fear of like albatrosses? I don't fucking know.
No, way off. It's the fear of bathing or washing.
Oh, yeah. I know a couple guys like that.
Ablution. Yep. So that's 1 for 1. You want to keep score?
Yeah. Let me keep score. I've covered them up on my side over here too. So
Okay.
ones that I got right and ones I got wrong.
Yeah. The next one is geniophobia. Geniophobia.
Is that like a general fear?
No. I'll spell it for you even.
Okay.
GENUPHOBIA. Geniophobia.
Is that like a fear of generations? Like an entire, like I'm afraid of like Gen Z or something?
No, you should probably be fearful. Nope, it's the fear of knees. Like your knee, KNEE.
I mean, I've been hit with some vicious knees. I feel like I kind of got that fear, that phobia.
The next one's weird.
Okay.
Xanthophobia.
Xanthophobia.
XANTHOPHOBIA. Xanthophobia.
Is that a fear of like xantha gum or whatever the fuck's in food everywhere?
No.
A fear of Xanax?
No. Does anybody fear Xanax?
I don't know.
So, no. This is the fear of the color yellow.
What the fuck? Hold up. Wouldn't yellow phobia or some shit make that? Well, these are all based in like Latin, right?
Yeah,
the prefixes.
Xanthophobia. I'm going to say it the way I would say this on the Ravensvale podcast. Okay. The fear of the color yeller.
Yeller. Dude, that must suck. Like if you live anywhere near a school, like a giant
school bus.
Fuck, dude.
Number 4. And this one, it's pogonophobia. POGONOPHOBIA. Pogonophobia.
Pogonophobia?
Yeah, take a few minutes.
Pogonophobia. What is the name of that fucking weird antelope, pangolin or whatever the fuck?
No.
Second guess, fear of pogo sticks.
No.
Fuck, dude, I actually really felt strong about that one.
Yeah, here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The fear of beards.
Beards?
Uh-huh. The beards that's on your face, not your partner that's a beard.
Yeah. A fear of beards.
I didn't take the opportunity to look up where these words come from, so that might be something to do as a side note.
How do you get a fear of
beards?
I don't
know. How do you get a fear of the color yellow?
Like you just.
I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the people who have these.
No. But it is curious. You have to wonder.
That's
like,
why
did somebody dressed up as like Abraham Lincoln beat the shit out of them as a kid or something like? And they just developed a fear.
Exactly. Maybe it's irrational.Maybe there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
Number 5. Here we go. Somniphobia. 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 Somniphobia.
Isn't like isn't that music? I want to say music. Is it a fear of music? No, that's melophobia.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No.
Somniphobia. I don't know, dude. Is that a fear of the city of Som?
No. I'll give you a word that will key you in.
Okay.
Sominex.
That doesn't fucking help me at all.
Fear of sleep. Sominex is a over-the-counter.
Like, insomnia.
Oh my God. Insomnia.
Damn it. Dude, I'm getting whacked over here. I'm not getting any of these right. Give me an easy one, you bastard.
None of these are easy at all. This next one, I am not even sure. I'm going to butcher this.
Okay.
This is going to be so butchered. Magiriococophobia. Magiriococophobia. I'll spell it for you.
Okay.
MAG.
Okay, mage.
EIROCOPHOBIA.
Fuck, dude. I seriously, magiriophobia. A fear of machines? Am I close?
When I saw this word, I was looking up phobias, right?
Yeah.
I thought that it was probably the fear of magic.
That's kind of where my mind went first, since mage is at the beginning.
Exactly. That's what I did. But no, it's the fear of cooking.
The fear of cooking.
I think I might have this.
So, like, on Halloween night, the people that have this just turn on the Food Network channel instead of, like, watching horror movies.
But I'm like, wow. I wonder if that's a diagnosable phobia that I could be diagnosed with.
You know what that means, though? Like, they can't go to Waffle House or, like, hibachi restaurant.
I don't think this is the fear of people cooking. I think it's the fear of them cooking.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm going to make an assumption of. Because otherwise, that would be a miserable life.
Does that mean, like, even, like, just nuking something in the microwave, they just can't do it?
I don't know. We would have to do more research. Maybe we do a whole episode on that.
Yeah. If any of you listening actually have one of these phobias, please write in, because I'm legitimately curious how your day-to-day life is.
Here's another one I'm going to butcher.
Okay.
Number 7. Pharaonomophobia. Pharaonomophobia.
Okay. Makes me think of, like, phrenology almost. I don't even think it's spelled with a PH. Pharaonophobia. Is it a fear of genetics?
No.
Damn.
But I'll say this. The thing that once I knew what it was, it still didn't help, but it then changed how I thought about the word. It's the fear of thinking.
Fear of thinking?
Yeah.
So, like, every Republican in the government right now has this?
Something like that.
Fear of thinking.
You know what? I'm just going to say this. I think in 4 years, we're going to look back, and there's going to be so many people that were on the wrong side of history.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to have such regret.
Well, Mitch McConnell's bitch ass is now all being like, oh, yeah, it sucks because he's on his way out. It's like, dude, it was your fault, dick.
Yeah. Your fault.
I wrecked the car, but I felt bad about it. Whatever. Anyway.
The next one is phobiophobia.
Oh, that's easy. It's a fear of having phobias, right?
Well, it's the fear of phobias, yeah.
Oh, boy. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, evidently you can be afraid that you have phobias or afraid of other people's phobias.
Do you have any phobias?
Yes, and we'll talk about those in just a second. Okay. Number 9, turophobia. Turophobia.
Is that a fear of potatoes? No, that's pterophobia.
This is Turophobia. Turophobia.
Is that a fear of dinosaurs?
No, but that's a good guess. It's the fear of cheese.
How is that a good guess? I wasn't even close.
Try to be nice to you today. I've missed you.
A fear of cheese. It's like if that person ever has to, like, have a connecting flight, it's like, you got to go through Wisconsin. He's like, absolutely not. I can't do it.
Okay, number 10, cacophobia.
Is that a fear of poop?
Nope.
Damn it.
Cacophobia. CACO.
Fear of
PHOBIA.
Fear of men. I think I have a couple of lesbians that have cacophobia.
Nope. Well, once I say this, you'll get it.
Okay.
Fear of ugliness.
Oh, shit. Cacophobia.
Yeah.
Does that mean, like, their face looks like shit or something?
I guess it's the fear of ugly people, the fear of ugliness.
Well, then don't go to Florida.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much right now.
So, you asked about phobia. Do you have any phobias?
Yeah, I mean,
ghosts.
Well,
phasmophobia.
I feel like the phasmophobia, since we've started this podcast, and the more I've learned about it, I think a lot of phobias come from a fear of, or a lack of knowing, like a lack of perspective and knowledge. So I would say my phasmophobia probably has
improved.
Definitely manageable.
Okay. You also mentioned when we were talking earlier that you had a fear of needles.
Oh, dude, yeah. I was terrified of needles when I was a teenager. And I decided to do exposure therapy, actually. So what I ended up doing is any chance I got on the email list for Medic Blood Drive, and any chance I could, I went and donated blood, and I would watch them put the needle in every time. Oh. And I think it took like 12 different donations before, Because when they used to do it, man, I mean, I legit would just start sweating profusely, and heart rate would be crazy. But I'm telling you now, like after doing it enough times, I think I got over it. But yeah, I also have what's it called, megalophobia? Like if I see a picture of somebody swimming in deep water in the ocean,
yeah,
from like a perspective where you can see that it's just water all the way down, that shit freaks me out.
Do you also, because part of that, there's another side of that where it's like enclosed bottomless things, like the fear of going into.
I dated a guy like that.
We watch this YouTube channel that talks about that a lot, and he like will dive in a cave into water.
Yeah. No, I think technically I don't have like claustrophobia if I'm in like a small room, but like those cave diving videos, you've lost your damn mind. Because here's the thing that gets me about those videos. If I put myself in that perspective, like putting myself in that mindset, I've watched enough of these videos where like at a certain point you can't just like turn around and go back. Like you can only go forward, right?
Yeah.
Fuck that. What about you?
Well, so I'm going to run off of that. I only recently figured out that, because I've been in caves and all of that, but mostly they were not tight fits. They were just exploring like the mouths of caves and stuff like that.
Even in the Lost Sea before, right?
Yeah. But I found out through watching some videos that I have a fear of spelunking, like the real thing, like where you're going in
like
and
crawling on your stomach.
Yeah. I get very anxious when I'm watching those videos.
Yeah.
I force myself to watch them, but my anxiety level is really high. I also have a phobia. I don't know that it would be a one that has a term. It would probably be claustrophobia.
Yeah.
I don't really have claustrophobia, let me say that. But watching some horror movies about people who are kidnapped.
Oh, yeah. Right. And they're like in the trunk of a car or some shit.
No, that wouldn't bother me. No, they put them like in boxes under the bed and they keep them there 24/7. Being buried alive.
Oh my God! Yeah,
those are the type of claustrophobic things that really cause me anxiety. Okay?
I can see that for sure.
I still watch those things, but like I don't have a fear of the dark. I have a fear of stubbing my toe in the dark, but not a fear of the dark. I'm not afraid of ghosts. I'm not afraid of any of that stuff. I'm not afraid of heights. I have that normal human reaction of when you're really high, getting that little dizzy feeling for a moment, but I still go and do the things.
Well, it's like somebody told me perfectly one time, it's not the elevation that scares you, it's how you're going to get back down that scares you, right?
Yeah. And I think that all of those common fears, like of the dark and all of that, I think that comes from our reptilian brain.
Oh, yeah.
And we're meant to be a little bit afraid of those things, and that we can overcome them, like exposure therapy, which is what I'm doing with all the other stuff. Because I would like to hope that if I were ever kidnapped and held in a box under somebody's bed, that I would keep my wits about me so that I could plan an escape.
There was an account I read that made me think of this just now. There was a guy who was a slave in the South, right? In like, the 1800s. And he got a 3x4 crate and he shipped himself to the North. He had to stay in this box for like 43 hours. And then when he got out, he was a free man. Could you imagine?
I could probably do that. So I think my biggest fear, and this is really, I don't know that you could classify it as a phobia. I think that my biggest fear is about losing the people around me.
Yeah.
Like every single person at work.
Yeah.
Waking up to one of them has passed away.
Exactly, yeah. Or Jacob got kidnapped in the Dominican Republic.
I would be coming down to the Dominican Republic and buying you back.
You'd be like Liam Neeson.
Yes, I would try to buy you back.
I picture you them being like $1,000. And you're like, he's worth $400 at max. Come on now, like you're gonna haggle.
No, if they said 1,000, I'd be like, okay, you're bothering me. He's worth more than that, but here's your $1,000. No. Oh, when I heard that you were back on Sunday,
Yeah.
I took a deep breath
Oh, yeah.
because, traveling in America and everything
It'd be crazy. I actually was kind of scared to fly. I'm not going to lie. And I've done like 40 flights in my life. This was easily the most nervous I felt about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Ravensvale Cauldron podcast. That wraps up today's journey into the world of rare phobias, a realm where fear takes on the most unexpected and surreal forms. Whether it's the dread of reflections moving on their own, the terror of time slipping away, or the unsettling thought of inanimate objects springing to life, these phobias remind us just how intricate and deeply personal the human mind can be. By shedding light on these rare fears, we hope not only to spark some curiosity, but also foster understanding and empathy for the unique experiences others face. After all, fear, in its many forms, connects us all. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode if you found it as fascinating as we did. And until next time, keep exploring the unknown.
Now, family, you adults have a few chores to do. Go on over to ravensvale.com and see about doing your chores on social media. Follow us on all the social media platforms we made available just for you folks. Like, listen, subscribe, and follow wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you don't mind, please leave us a good rating and a kind comment. You can find the Ravensvale Cauldron podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Just search for Ravensvale Cauldron Podcast and hit the follow button so you can stay up to date with the latest episodes. So until next time, family,
See you soon.
The Ravensvale Cauldron is a production of Small Raven Media. Today's episode was hosted by Ed Bolden Greer with co-host Jacob A. Garner. Audio engineering and sound design by Nick Devan at Nicky D Sound. Copyrighted 2025, Small Raven Media. All rights reserved.